Bonjour! Imperfect, part 9 with avoir and être. Avoir and être are the most common French verbs, as to have and to be are in English. So first of all, let's conjugate avoir in the present indicative. J'ai, tu as, il, elle, on a. Nous avons, vous avez, ils, elles, sont. So we still can use the nous stem, even though this is a highly irregular verb. So I had, or I was having, I used to have, j'avais. Tu avais. Il, elle, on avait. Nous avions, vous aviez, ils, elles, avaient. What's the past participle? Remember the handbags. J'ai eu. Tu as eu. Il, elle, on a eu. Nous avons eu. Vous avez eu. Ils, elles ont eu. So how do you say I had or I was having, I used to have, or what if I had? J'avais. I used to have a black cat as a child. J'avais un chat noir en tant qu'enfant. Do you remember en tant qu'enfant? Or you could just say comme enfant. Or you could just say when I was a child. Quand j'étais enfant. They don't say a child. It's a bit like the jobs. You say I am dentist. I am child. Pet is a domestic animal. Animal domestique. Did you have any pets as a child? Using vous? Vous aviez d'animaux domestiques en tant qu'enfant or comme enfant? Or when you were a child, quand vous étiez enfant? We didn't have the time to come, sorry. Nous n'avions pas le temps de venir. Désolé. So when you get a noun plus infinitive, you need a de in the middle. It's the same with adjective plus infinitive. You need a de in the middle. It's the same with adverb plus infinitive. You need a de in the middle. If you're going to use on n'avait pas le temps de venir. Désolé. Qu'est-ce qu'il avait? What does that mean? Qu'est-ce qu'il avait? So it does mean, what did he have? But it's also how the French would ask, what was wrong with him? What was the matter with him? Qu'est-ce qu'il avait? What was wrong with you using tu? What was the matter with you? Qu'est-ce que tu avais? Using vous. Did you have an appointment? Vous aviez un rendez-vous? How do we say there is or there are? Il y a. There was or there were? Il y avait. There was a long queue. Now the word for queue is a French word. You just say it with a French accent and it's feminine. It's also the word for tail, which is why we have the kangaroo there with a long tail. Il y avait une longue queue. Long can also go after. It's one of those adjectives that can move. Il y avait une queue longue. G, if you remember, is soft if it's followed by an E or an I, like Gérard. Okay? But if you want it to be a hard G with an E or an I, you have to insert a U. So it becomes longue, not longe. Think of baguette. There wasn't a single restaurant open. So a single is like there was no restaurant open. The no there is an adjective. Il n'y avait aucun restaurant d'ouvert. Okay, aucun, feminine version, aucune. So we say no or not a single. You've got the word un in there, haven't you? One or aucune, une. Avoir, 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 avoir. avoir in French is used with many expressions. The equivalents are often not using avoir in English. Often it could be to be or another verb. We have done these before, so this is a bit of revision. So avoir en means to have so many years. We use the verb to be a number. The French say to have so many years. Okay, avoir chaud. Okay, we say to be hot. The French use avoir. Avoir froid. To be cold, to have cold. Avoir faim. To be hungry. Avoir soif. To be thirsty. Avoir peur de. Okay, to be afraid of. If you used avoir peur and you had different subjects in the same phrase, it would be avoir peur que, and that would bring up the subjunctive. Avoir raison de. To be right, to have reason. Avoir tort de. To be wrong. Avoir sommeil. To be sleepy. Avoir l'impression de. To have the impression. Here we have an impressionist painter, Monet. Avoir envie de. Okay, you've got this green envy bubble there, but actually in French, avoir envie de does mean envy. But in everyday language, it's a very common expression to say that you want to do something, that you feel like doing something, or even you feel like having something. J'ai envie d'une glace, I feel like an ice cream. J'ai pas envie de sortir ce soir, I don't feel like going out tonight. Avoir besoin de. We say to need, the French say to have need of. Okay, he was 15 years old at the time, a teenager. Il avait 15 ans à l'époque, un adolescent. If it's a girl teenager, une adolescente. Often it's shortened to ado. I was really thirsty. J'avais vraiment soif. I admit now that you were right, addressing tu. J'avoue maintenant que tu avais raison. Of course, in fast French, que t'avais raison. Using nous, we didn't feel like going out. Nous n'avions pas envie de sortir. Okay, more common expressions using avoir. Avoir mal à. Okay, to have pain somewhere. Avoir du mal à. Avoir du mal à, very handy expression. It means to have difficulty or to struggle to do something. Avoir du mal à. Avoir la pêche. It's a fun expression to say, I have the peach. I'm on top of the world. I'm feeling good. Avoir le cafard. Okay, an expression that means the opposite. It means to have the blues. Le cafard is literally a cockroach. I have the cockroach. No wonder you're depressed. Avoir le trac. It means to have butterflies. Avoir confiance en. To have trust in, to have confidence in, to have faith in. Avoir l'intention de. Okay, I have a dream. I plan to, in my tent. Avoir l'intention, you have the word tent in there. Avoir honte de. to be ashamed of. Here's Adam and Eve. Avoir hâte de. If you remember, the circonflexe accent is called le chapeau chinois sometimes. This often means there used to be an S in the word, which makes hâte become haste. It means I can't wait, to not be able to wait, to be excited. J'ai hâte. Excited, I can't wait. Avoir de la chance. Okay, to be lucky, to have luck. Avoir l'habitude de. To be used to be in the habit of. Avoir du chagrin. This word does exist in English. It means to have sorrow, to be upset. Avoir l'air de. Okay, we have a hot air balloon which is covered in emoticons showing emotions, because avoir l'air de means to seem, and then you add an adjective. So we have all these emoticons showing different states. His back hurt. Il avait mal au dos. So it's avoir mal à. You have to join the à to the le because dos is masculine. Avoir mal au dos. I struggled to understand them when they spoke fast. J'avais du mal à les comprendre quand il ou quand elle parlait vite. They couldn't wait to see you, addressing tu. Here's our man with his big hat, and he looks really excited. Ils ou elles avaient hâte de te voir. You seemed different, addressing tu. Tu avais l'air différent. Or if you're addressing a woman, tu avais l'air différente. You had the air of being different. Être, another essential bread and water verb. Let's conjugate it in the present indicative. Je suis. Tu es. Il, elle, on est. Nous sommes. Vous êtes. Ils, elles, sont. Well, this is the only truly irregular imperfect verb. Normally there are loads of irregular ones, but the imperfect is very kind. There's only one truly irregular one, and this is it, être. It doesn't take its stem from nous. It takes its stem from the infinitive. So its stem is étais, phone, home. It's étais. Luckily, this is such a commonly used verb in the imperfect, you will probably already be very familiar with it. So, I was, j'étais, tu étais. Il, elle, on était. Nous étions, vous étiez, ils, elles étaient. Do you remember the past participle? Also very, very random. Était, étiez, with an acute accent on both E's. J'ai été, I have been. Tu as été. Il, elle, on a été. Nous avons été. Vous avez été. Ils, elles ont été. I knew it. I was sure, the French would say, about it. Remember, knew is in the past. Savoir, pretty much used in the imperfect. Je le savais. J'en étais sûr. About it, en. J'en étais sûr. He didn't come because he said he was tired. Il n'est pas venu parce qu'il disait qu'il était fatigué. Okay? Or you could say, il n'est pas venu parce qu'il a dit qu'il était fatigué. You decide. Sometimes it's interchangeable. Worn out, look at these worn out old boots. Worn out or expired, like your driving license expiring is épuisé. Épuisé. They were worn out. Ils ou elles étaient épuisés. To be deflated, like this poor old ball that's been punctured. Exhausted. Got nowhere. Crevé. So a puncture is un pneu crevé. They were exhausted after the journey. Ils ou elles étaient crevés après le voyage. Cool, nice, kind, great. One of the words for an owl is chouette. Chouette. Okay, it's used a lot in everyday French to say cool, nice, kind, great. It was really nice to see you again last night, addressing tu. So to see you again, to re-see you. C'était vraiment chouette de te revoir hier soir. Really is vraiment, which is literally truly. We don't say truly that much in English. We tend to say really. So vraiment, very, is très. Do you remember the other words that mean really or very that are used colloquially in French, but frequently? Here we have our supermarket basket because it's super. If you go to a bigger place, hyper, with a big, big trolley, le chariot. They call it a chariot, chariot. Somebody's laughing. Drôlement. And of course our cow, vachement. So using one of these, it was really great. C'était super chouette. C'était hyper chouette. C'était drôlement chouette. C'était vachement chouette. Using tu, your hands were all dirty. Tes mains étaient toutes sales. The restaurant was completely empty except for one couple sitting in the corner. Okay, one couple seated. Think of the past participle. Le restaurant était complètement vide, sauf, or you could say à part, un couple assis dans le coin. Or you could say au coin. Okay, so seated, assis. We say except for, apart from. The French would just say sauf or à part, no additional words. The opposite of empty, full, plentiful. Plein, that's where we get the word plentiful from, or plenty. Full of people, plein de monde. If your thing that is full of people is feminine, pleine de monde. Remember, you cannot use full, plein, to say you have eaten too much. You are full. Because if you say je suis plein or pleine, it's a bit of a crude way of saying you are pregnant. So you just say I have eaten too much. J'ai trop mangé. The restaurant was full of people. Le restaurant était plein de monde. Another way of saying full, to fill, is remplir. Use the past participle. Le restaurant était rempli de monde. You could also say the slang which is used quite a lot, bourré, which means like stuffed. Le restaurant était bourré de monde. And finally, when all the colours merge into one, they become black. Le restaurant était noir de monde. So, because we're using être here, we're bringing up a lot of the adjectives. It may be worth going back and looking over those lessons. We were incapable of doing it. Nous étions incapables de le faire. On était incapable de le faire. Using vous, your children were well behaved. They were adorable. A well behaved is to be wise, sage. Vos enfants étaient sages. Ils étaient adorables. Was your bed comfortable? Addressing to. Ton lit était confortable? So able words tend to be the same. Confortable. Sometimes there is a spelling change. So we spell comfortable C-O-M. The French spell it C-O-N. Confortable. It wasn't fair. Another word for fair is to be just, where we get the word justice system from. Ce n'était pas juste. Their house was practically impeccable. It was flawless. Okay, another able word there. Leur maison était pratiquement impeccable. Impeccable. Impeccable is also used to say brilliant, perfect. Often shortened to impec. Practically. ly adverbs become ment a lot of the time, pratiquement. But the stairs were too steep. All these adjectives we covered in our adjectives section. Mais les escaliers étaient trop raides. They were very in love. They were very amorous. Elles étaient très amoureux, très amoureuses. They were many. The French would say they were numerous, meaning there were a lot of them. Ils étaient nombreux, or elles étaient nombreuses. It was a ridiculous situation. So here, this doesn't work, the OUS thing. C'était une situation ridicule. It was atrocious. This one doesn't work either. C'était atroce. Or a common word, c'était affreux. I used to be very ticklish as a child, but I'm not anymore. They would say, I am not it anymore. J'étais très chatouilleux, ou chatouilleuse en tant qu'enfant, comme enfant, mais je ne le suis plus. Okay? Mr. Tickle is Monsieur Chatouille. Chatouilleux, chatouilleuse. A tickly cat, chatouilleux, chatouilleuse. They were very warm people. So warmth is la chaleur. When you're talking about people being warm, chaleureux, chaleureuse. Ils ou elles étaient des gens très chaleureux. The meat was a bit fatty. La viande était un peu grasse. Remember Mardi Gras, Fatty Tuesday? The temperature was lower at this time last year. She's going low. She's doing the limbo. How low can you go? La température était plus basse à cette époque l'année dernière. My mother was impatient and always in a hurry. Ma mère était impatiente et toujours pressée. It was better than last time. C'était mieux que la dernière fois. Je croyais qu'ils étaient 3. So literally it means I thought that they were 3. But it's equivalent to us saying, I thought that there were 3 of them. So even though we have no donkey's backside in sight, this is how you would say it in French. Je croyais qu'ils étaient 3. I thought they were 3. I thought there were 5 of them. I thought they were 5. Je croyais qu'ils étaient 5 ou qu'elles étaient 5. I thought there were 4 of them. I thought they were 4. Je croyais qu'ils étaient 4. Je croyais qu'elles étaient 4. Okay, we're not talking about years, are we? Because that uses avoir. Ils étaient nombreux. Okay, there were a lot of them. They were numerous. My parents wanted to know where I was last night. Mes parents voulaient savoir où j'étais hier soir. Before, we have our avant-garde soldier. They were the first in line. Avant, before everybody else. Avant. The fancy word when before is used as an adverb, not a preposition, as an adverb, is auparavant. You still have the word avant in there. Auparavant. You'll see it in fancy French, in literature, for example. So we may have formerly or previously in English, which is a bit fancier than before. Auparavant. I didn't know you were married before using vous and auparavant. Je ne savais pas que vous étiez mariés auparavant. Another way of saying I didn't know was I was ignorant of the fact. J'ignorais que vous étiez mariés auparavant. D'accord, as you know, songs are very, very powerful for learning a foreign language. And Jodassin was very famous in the 60s and 70s. So we have 2 songs that include some imperfect and other tenses, of course, is Le Petit Pain au Chocolat, about a baker who is in love with one of her clients, but he doesn't seem to love her back. Find out why. And also, really famous song, Les Champs-Élysées. Champs-Élysées, the famous big avenue in Paris, dans le 8e arrondissement. Let's find out a bit about Jodassin. Jodassin était un chanteur bien connu dans les années 60 et 70, d'origine juive russe. Il est né Joseph Ira Dassin le 5 novembre 1938 à New York et il est mort le 20 août 1980 à Papeete, à Tahiti, à l'âge de 41 ans. Il a connu un très grand succès dans la francophonie et ailleurs, en particulier en Russie, en Finlande, en Grèce et en Allemagne. Jodassin était le fils de Jules Dassin, 1911 à 2008, et de Béatrice Laune, 1913 à 1994. Son père était réalisateur de films et sa mère était violoniste virtuose. Jo a beaucoup déménagé dans sa vie et son histoire de vie est très intéressante. Il a fini par déménager en France dans les années 60 où sa carrière de chanteur, compositeur et écrivain a vraiment démarré. En 1980, après avoir fait une grande tournée en Europe, il est rentré épuisé. Il est parti à Tahiti en vacances pour se reposer. Pendant qu'il déjeunait avec sa famille et des amis, il est mort d'une malaise cardiaque. Il était enterré dans le carré juif du cimetière Hollywood Forever à Los Angeles, en Californie. In your documents, you will find the songs with the English translations and links so that you can listen to them on YouTube. There's also the biography there of him with links to interviews that you can listen where he is speaking French. Yes, it's very fast, but listening to French is vital to improve your listening skills. Et voilà les amis, merci beaucoup. À la prochaine fois.